Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Amna Girl from the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. We're back with the course Communication Skills for Media, bearing the code GMC 232. It's our 8th lecture, and the topic today is Speaking Competencies. It's a continuation of our last lecture. So today we'll be discussing the speaking competencies that are actually the 11 core speaking competencies which are used to evaluate a variety of presentations and speeches at every level of mastery. So starting off, we already discussed these, but I'll still start off from the first one. See, actually, I said in the last lecture as well that you cannot hit a target unless you know what it is. So this is actually an overview of 11 speaking competencies, which are actually considered as standards for evaluating a variety of presentations. And I said it before as well that these are not for student level presentations or for university presentations, rather presentations at every level of mastery. So the first competency is useful topic. Your selection of topic is very, very, very important. So the first speaking competency is to select a topic that is appropriate to the audience and the occasion. Now what happens at our end, we tend to select a topic that is suitable to us as a speaker. Now, you should select a topic that is appropriate not only for the audience who's gonna listen to it, but also the occasion where that speech has to be presented, where that presentation is meant to be delivered. So an advanced speaker selects a worthwhile topic that engages the audience. Someone who is experienced in giving presentations, someone who is experienced in giving speeches, is an advanced speaker who understands the kind of topic which is engaging for the audience. His topic also presents the audience with new information that they did not know before the speech. Now, the topic has to be engaging for the audience. They should be interested in the topic. But the speech should also have, or the presentation should also have something in it, some new information that the audience did not know before. Now let's compare it with a beginning speaker. A beginning speaker, someone who is new to public speaking, someone who is new to presentation. That kind of a person selects a topic that lacks originality or a topic that is out of date. Now there's so many topics, everything all around us can be discussed, but the way you discuss it is important, and then for which occasion you choose, for what kind of audience you choose that topic, it is very, very important. Now the selection of topic provides, for example, for a beginning speaker, it provides no new information to the audience, so they are not interested actually. An ineffective speaker may give a speech in which a single topic cannot be deduced by the audience. There are times that there are speakers, even speakers who speak on public forums, they speak about so many things in one speech. So the audience is left in curiosity, actually, what was the topic of the speech? So for that matter, you have to be very careful about your choice of topic, and we are discussing all these things because you will be evaluated on the basis of these competencies, and this is why you need to decide everything according to your audiences and stuff. Now moving to the next one, which is an engaging introduction. You must have heard it many times, first impression is the last impression. Well, it is not the last impression, but your beginning, your speech, the opening of your speech, your introduction, it makes a big difference. So to formulate an introduction that orients the audience to the topic and the speaker is the second speaking competency. So it is dependent on the speaker to plan or draft such an introduction that not only orients the audience to the topic, but it also orients the audience to the speaker. An advanced speaker, someone who has expertise in public speaking, writes an introduction that contains an excellent attention getter. Attention getters are ways of getting the attention or interest of your audience. We'll leave it here to this. Otherwise, later on in this course, we'll even move towards knowing different techniques for getting the attention of your audience. So, what I said is, an advanced speaker, that kind of person writes an introduction that contains an excellent attention getter. He firmly establishes his credibility or her credibility and provides a sound orientation to the topic, states his thesis clearly, and previews his points in a cogent and memorable way. And this is very much important, that the way you speak, you should be remembered by the others. So it's not about saying a lot many things in a speed. No, you need to decide what you want to say, how you want to say it, so that the others may be able to remember it. For the beginning speaker, his attention getter is mundane, and he somewhat develops his credibility, but his thesis is awkwardly composed and he provides little direction to the audience. So he tries it out, but things are not effective. The ineffective speaker has no opening technique, no credibility statement, and provides no background on the topic. In addition, he has no thesis statement and no preview of his points. So if, for example, your introduction actually does not set the topic or does not clarify the topic, does not clarify your standing or your credibility to speak on that thing, so you leave little chances of getting audience interest. People do not listen to people whom they don't feel are credible, whom they are not clear about. So that is your chance. You lose your chance if you don't have an engaging introduction. Pardon me for that. Now the third speaking competency, that is clear organization. The third competency is to use an effective organizational pattern. An advanced speaker is very well organized and delivers a speech with clear main points. Now, if things are clear in your mind and then you clearly organize your speech, only then your organization is seen as clear. So someone who is clear first themselves and then writes it out clearly, plans or delivers it clearly, is able to give clear main points. His points are mutually exclusive and directly related to the thesis. So whatever your main points are, obviously those should be mutually exclusive. There shouldn't be any overlapping, and those should be directly related to your topic or to your thesis. Furthermore, that person employs effective transitions and signposts to help the speech flow well. In this case, a beginning speaker, he has main points that are somewhat organized, but the content of these points may overlap. Transitions may also be present in his speech, but they are not particularly effective. In the ineffective speaker's speech, there is no clear organizational pattern. There are no transitions, and it sounds as if the information is randomly presented. So, the third competency for a speaker or for an effective speaker is how well organized his speech or his points are. So this is again very much important. If there is something that is certain that you can prove, for example, so prove it then. Why do you leave certain loopholes, or why do you leave certain spaces for your audience to think about things? No, give them complete things, whichever you can give them. The fourth, well-supported ideas. So the fourth on the list of speaking competencies is to locate, synthesize, and employ compelling supporting materials. In the advanced speaker's speech, his key points are well supported with a variety of credible materials. See, if you're clear, in the last point we talked about main ideas, clear main ideas or clear main points. Now, if your points are clear, you need to support your points with credible materials. And there can be a variety of credible materials depending on, once again, the topic and the occasion, the audience, all these things are relevant to it. So, what I was saying is, in the advanced speaker speech, his or her key points are very well supported with different credible materials, and his sources provide excellent support for his thesis. In addition, all of his sources are clearly cited. On the other hand, a beginning speaker has points that are generally supported with a fair mix of materials. So, not everything is clearly there. Only some of his evidence supports his thesis, and his source citations need to be clarified. And an ineffective speaker, he gives a speech with no supporting materials or no source citations. So obviously that kind of a person loses the ground because he does not have any credibility or any credible materials to support whatever he or she is saying. The fifth speaking competency is to develop a conclusion that reinforces the thesis and provides psychological closure. Now, once again, I'm coming again. This is the fifth speaking competency, which actually is to develop a conclusion which not only reinforces your thesis but also provides a psychological closure. Now, those experienced or advanced speakers, they provide a clear and memorable summary of their points and refer back to the thesis or to the big picture. Their speech also ends with a strong clincher or call to action, depending on whatever is needed. A beginning speaker, however, provides some summary of his points, but there is no clear reference back to his thesis. The closing technique of his speech can be strengthened. In an ineffective speaker's speech, there is no conclusion. His speech ends abruptly without closure. And you might have seen many a times that when you people are presenting, I actually tell you that it seems as if you've just cut it short. You haven't planned or decided how you're gonna end your speech. The way your introductions are very important, similarly your conclusions are very important, because the conclusion leaves the final impact, the final message, the final impression, and that is what your listeners carry forward. So if you end up abruptly, you do not leave anything in the mind of your listeners. But if you have a memorable summary of your points, you actually have a chance to that your points remain in the memory of your listeners, and this is what makes a great speaker or a good speaker. Same is for presentations. Now we'll move towards the next competencies. To demonstrate a careful choice of words is the sixth speaking competency. An advanced speaker's language is exceptionally clear, imaginative, and vivid. His language is also completely free from bias, grammatical errors, and inappropriate usage. This I have once again told you time and again, that your choice of words is very, very much important. Your words should not only be very clear, but your word choice should also be thoughtful. For example, it should be free from any kinds of bias or grammatical errors or inappropriate use of words. And then you need to know the not only the denotative meanings but also the connotative meanings of words, so that you do not misuse them somewhere. Same is the case, for example, if you are doing a visual thing. Okay, I'll discuss visuals later on, but for example, you have these spelling mistakes and stuff, or even pronunciation mistakes. that make a big difference, that you lose your impact actually. A beginning speaker selects language that is adequate to make his point. He has some errors in grammar and occasionally uses, for example, slang or jargon or awkward sentence structures. The ineffective speaker has many errors in his grammar and syntax. He also mispronounces words and extensively uses slang or jargons or racist terms or that kind of thing. Competency number 7 is to effectively use vocal expression and paralanguage to engage the audience. Excellent use of vocal variation, especially the video that we saw in our last lecture. If you just revisit that, he used an excellent use of vocal variation, the way like intensity and pacing, that was excellent. So the excellent use of vocal variation in terms of intensity and pacing are characteristics of the advanced speaker. That is why I used that particular video. Since 2015, there have been annual other winners as well, but I still prefer this one because that was an excellent way, the way he did all of this. So in case of an advanced speaker, his vocal expression is also natural and enthusiastic, and he avoids fillers. Some vocal variation is evident in the beginning speaker's speech. He also enunciates clearly, speaks audibly, and generally avoids fillers like yeah, like all these are fillers. An ineffective speaker is inaudible. See, when you people speak like this, like it's just my name is this, and so I tell you that this is not the way to speak, or this is not the way to present. So, an ineffective speaker is inaudible, enunciates poorly, and speaks in a monotone voice. Like it's just like a train that is going in one direction. And I've told you these earlier as well. His speech also has poor pacing, and he distracts listeners with fillers. Eighth on the list of competencies is to demonstrate nonverbal behavior that supports the verbal message. An advanced speaker has posture, gesture, facial expression, and eye contact that are natural, well developed, and display high levels of poise and confidence. Some reliance on notes is seen with the beginning speaker, but he has adequate eye contact. He also generally avoids distracting mannerisms. The ineffective speaker usually looks down and avoids eye contact. He has nervous gestures and other nonverbal behaviors that distract from or contradict the message. Now, your nonverbals need to complement or whatever you are saying, or they need to support or correspond to whatever the verbal message is, whatever the words are. In case of an advanced speaker, not only his posture, but his gestures, facial expressions, eye contact, all these are well planned, well developed, but still natural. And they tend to display high level of confidence. In case of beginning speakers, they tend to rely on notes, but still they try eye contact. And they generally avoid distracting mannerisms. For example, remember when I told you about clutching your pens, or for example, holding your waistcoats, or playing with your clothes? In case of an ineffective speaker, that kind of person either usually looks down or up towards the ceiling, because they actually tend to avoid eye contact. They are fearful of eye contact. Their nervous gestures and other non-verbal behaviors actually either distract or contradict the message. So once again, you need to prepare very well, and in all these cases, whenever your nonverbals are concerned, actually people focus more on your nonverbals than your verbals. So your body language is something which is very, very important, and this is the first thing that people notice about you. your posture, your eye contact, the way you even move and come in front. For example, if you have to come towards the rostrum, the pace of your movement, the way you carry your body, your eye contact, everything says a lot about you as a presenter before you have even started speaking or before you have even started delivering your presentation. So your body language is again very, very much important, or your nonverbals, and these need to correspond with what you are saying or what you are speaking. So we discussed the first 9 out of the 11 competencies, speaking competencies today. That's all for the lecture today. And then in our next lecture, we'll continue with the rest. Thank you.